All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble, episode 86, Nothing But Net, with Las Vegas Royals guard Pauley Coleman. We'll get to him in just a minute. This is a very special Wednesday episode for a very special player. We made an agreement. Dude works on the weekends. He's got some things going on. And he's one of my dudes. So we're going to take care of him. So it's a Wednesday, but hey, it's all good. As you can tell, there's only one panelist today. We got other guys that work during the week. Conspicuous by his absence, George Ochoa is at work doing his thing. And Josh, we don't know what happened to Josh. He vanished into the boonies somewhere. But anyway, I got my guy, Agent Drew. He's here all the time. Here's Agent Drew. Drew, say what's up and good morning to everybody. He nods.
Good morning, highly favored and highly blessed.
Absolutely. Any day above ground is a good day. So anyway, again, guys, I want to make a couple
Amen.
disclaimers. Number one disclaimer is the opinions that are given on this show are those of the person giving the opinion, and Take Your Shot Career is not responsible for those opinions being given. And also, I did mess up on a promo this week. It's been a wild week for me, and it's getting even more wild this weekend. I announced today's episode as episode 87. I was wrong. I apologize. It is episode 86. So again, let's get it going. Double Dribble episode 86, Nothing But Net, with the one and only Pauley Coleman. He is a guard for the Vegas Royals. He is a champion. I call him a sharpshooter just because he's ridiculous. He's clutch. He's a big family man. If you've been on his Instagram, you see how big he is with family. And with that said, we got a little surprise coming out. If you guys don't know about him, we'll be talking about that as well. So, Pauley Coleman, welcome to the show, bro. Nice to see you again, man.
Oh, man, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Y'all, if you don't know, Pauley Coleman's been in the ABA for a number of years. Great example of what a pretty much what an ABA player should be. He's a clean player for one. He's a respectful player and he plays hard nose every single time, and I respect the hell out of him for that. So, Pauley, I know you, Drew knows you, the people on the audience know you, but we got other people that are gonna be watching this later in other states, other countries that don't know who the hell is Pauley Coleman, dude. Like, let's start from the very beginning, my dude. What made Pauley Coleman the man that he is today? The floor is yours, my dude. We'll bounce off whatever you say and we'll go from there.
For sure. Well, thank you for having me. First off, I appreciate y'all the
Hmm.
opportunity. Um, Pretty much, man. Paulie Coleman is just, a young man. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Moved to Las Vegas in about 2014. Um, and I dropped out of high school a couple times, so I didn't really get to play high school ball. So, you know, the reason I go so hard with the hoops and how I play is because, I didn't get to play high school basketball, but I
Mm,
did need to go play JUCO for a
okay.
couple. So, you know, that's really much it. I'm 29 years of age. Um, and I mean, I got a kid coming on the way, first child coming, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, man, that's pretty much about me.
All right, my dude. So we'll bounce off of that. Okay. So again, we do like to know a little bit about childhood. Were you an only child? Did you have a billion siblings? We've had people who were only children, and we've had people who had 18 brothers. So maybe you're kind of in the middle there. What's going on with childhood?
So my dad, let me see, because my dad was kind of out there a little bit. So let me see.
Okay.
We got CO, Malik, Kevion, my sister, little brother. So my dad has five kids, right?
Okay.
On my mom's side, it's three of us.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Um, I'm the third oldest, and I lost a brother in Chicago due to gun violence.
Oh man, I'm
Mm.
sorry.
RP CEO, man, really was a legend out there. So I lost him in what it was like 2011, and that kind of tore me apart. It made me go harder with
Yeah.
hoops as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was five. I remember it like it was yesterday, bro. Like he was the first person to take me to the basketball court and like introduce me to the game. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
you know from him passing, it just inspired me to just keep on going because he would tell me like, "Man, you talented. Like you gonna be great." You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much why I fell in love with the game as well. But
Wow.
so I got an older sister. Um, she just moved to Arkansas, and then her name is actually Paulette. So my name is Paul, right? And my sister,
Oh God.
My sister name is Paulette. So and then I'm a junior. My dad is Paul Senior, right?
Okay, so you're a junior. Okay.
Right, junior. And then my little brother, Lester, he's out in Vegas with me.
Okay, yeah, I think I've called. He played with you guys before once, didn't he? Or no?
Oh no, he on hoop.
Oh,
He on hoop.
different one. Oh, okay, so it's not him. Okay, okay. So that damn. Okay, so you're in the blended family. We've had a few guests that have been blended families. How does that work out for you? You seem like you're pretty cool with your family. Is it
Oh,
okay? Or you guys are all good?
I love them all. And like you said, I'm a family man. So at the end of the day, I love my family, bro. And I realize that family's all you got. At the end of the day, those moments that you make with family mean a lot. And it's just about making those memories, you know. So I'm a family guy. I talk to all my siblings, pretty much every other day, or at
Mm-hmm.
least try. But you know how those number changes go. People change. You know what I'm saying? So
That's the beauty of social media these days. You can hit people up on their Instas, their Facebooks, whatever. But no, I get
right.
that. I get that. And it's funny you mentioned that because you get people that have brothers and sisters that live literally 5 minutes away and they just don't talk. And that's crazy until it comes to that point where they're sick or something happens or, you have to bail them out of jail or whatever, Like it's sad, I have an older sister and a younger brother, and I don't reach out to them as much as I should. Like my brother, I try to talk to every week. He's a busy man. He's got two little kids as well. He's trying to get his master's, stuff like that. My sister's a teacher. She has two kids. Her son is literally almost 2 months younger to the day of my son. So
Mm,
they're pretty close. And then my niece, she just holds her own with all the boys. So she's the only girl. So, but I like that you mentioned that because a lot of family members don't reach out to their siblings, to their sister, to their brothers until it's too late. Even if you have a divorced family, like you didn't divorce your brothers, you didn't divorce your sisters, like you need to keep reaching out to them. So I agree on that. I was actually talking to a coworker at my other job yesterday
mm,
about that. Like when you get a divorce, it's like you still need to be cordial. You need to, whether it's you or your parents, they need to be cordial and they can't use the kid as a pawn. Just
yeah.
100. Don't use kids as pawns and don't put your kids against each other. So I love that you're cool with your entire family. I think that's awesome.
Mm,
Okay, so I gotta ask, Paulie, I wouldn't be a good journalist if I didn't ask. So you grow up young, unfortunately your brother is gunned down, which I'm very sorry about. I've had not a brother die from gun violence, but I've had a really, really, really close friends, numerous done to gun violence, and I'm very big on that. We don't get political on this show, but it like you said, it molds a person. You were 5, it molds you into oh my God, like life is too short for one. Why was my brother taken? All these thoughts are going through your head. And when you're 5, are you kidding me right now? Like, I can only imagine
So,
what you were
so
thinking.
wasn't let me rephrase it. I
Okay.
wasn't 5
Oh,
passed
okay.
away. I was like 13 to 14 years.
Oh,
13.
still.
I mean, I was still pretty young, you know. So
Yeah, and your mind is still molding at that time. And oh my God, 13? Are you kidding me? That's
yeah.
puberty, that's middle school, that's finding yourself, that's questioning like who you are, stuff like that. Wow. Wow. So, what advice, since we're talking about it, if you don't mind, Um, sadly, in the world, someone's going to go through that. They're probably
Mhm.
going through it right now as we speak. What advice would you give them to make it in their day-to-day life? Because we get a lot of people, they lose a brother, they lose a sister, and they can't handle it and they take their own lives. What advice could you give to them to have them keep going?
Okay, so some advice I give to him probably would be like, go your hardest, man. Like do your best
Hmm.
every, you know, as if that person was here. Like they would want you to probably go your hardest and go your best. Don't give up on life. Don't give up on what you chasing, your dreams, your goals, and just be what you could be. Be great, you know. Um, there's gonna be trials and tribulations along the road, but I think if you keep that mentality, like, man, what would my bro say, or what would my
Hmm.
sister, whoever, what would they say, what would they tell me to do, you know? So I kind of keep that in the back of my mind in a sense where I'm like, when I be, because I got my moments, man. I'm telling you, when I want to give up or I want to
Hmm.
just, I'm saying, not continue with, you know, going forward in life, but I just think about like, damn, my
Hmm.
brother a real stand-up man. So I always think about him like, I got to keep going. I got to do this for my family. I got to make a way for
Hmm.
my family. I love my siblings. And that's what drives me every day, just knowing that, you know what I'm saying, my brother's looking down on me. He wants me to be great. I know he do. So the advice I would give the younger generation or anybody out there, bro, just keep going. You know what I'm saying? The road gonna get tough, but you got to keep going. Once you get over those obstacles, bro, life gets great. Life gets
Hmm.
better. And I'm a testament of that, you know? So
Yep.
that's a pretty much the advice I would give the younger generation.
That's awesome. That you might have just changed a life, Paulie. I know I say that every show, but you might have just changed a life by doing that. What you just did, that 2 minutes of that talk that you just gave, you might have just changed or saved a life. I just want you to know that. And now another thing I will tell you before we get into talking about the new dad, I do want to talk about high school real quick. Um, but when you're a new dad, we talked about this off air, dude. Everything you're gonna do is gonna be for that little boy. So just remember that
Yeah.
now. It's not going to be about you anymore. As soon as that baby comes out next week, 2 weeks, we'll talk about that. But your life changes forever, dude. Everything you're going to do, you might question yourself. You might be exhausted. You might be beat to absolute hell and in tears, but you will be doing whatever it is you need to do for your child. So that's all I'm saying about that. We'll get to that in just a minute. You did mention, did you move from Chicago to Vegas in adult age, or were you still in school at that time?
So actually, this is how it went down. I moved. So we lived in Chicago, and I was about like till I was about like 8 years old. I want to
Eight
say,
years old. Okay.
and we didn't move to Vegas, bro. Right after Chicago, we moved to Minnesota.
Oh
I don't know if
wow.
you're
Okay.
familiar with. So
Which
my
what
mom
you
was like, "Let's
Paula,
get a
you cut out. What city was that? You cut out.
Minnesota." Can you hear me?
Yeah, we heard Minnesota. Did you say a city? Or
No, 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 not a
oh,
city.
okay.
But no, the city I lived in was St. Cloud, Minnesota. So
There are
it was
those
like a
saints over there. Okay.
it was a small little town or whatever, bro.
Okay.
And basically my mom was like, let's get up out of here. You know, Chicago is not the place I want to raise you guys and stuff
Okay.
like that. And so she just, we just up and moved to Minnesota. And I stayed out there, bro, for I want to say like 13, 14 years.
Okay.
Um, so I did middle school out there and I did a little, like I did freshman and my sophomore year out there in Minnesota.
Okay.
So, I played my freshman year and sophomore year high school ball.
Okay.
In like it was a very like smaller town, but it was
Mm-hmm.
white people, right?
Yeah, you can say it. You're good. You can say it. It's true.
So yeah, it was predominantly white folks, and it was just kind of like a different type of game for me. So I had to like adjust my game and my playing
Mm-hmm.
style, you know, my just my attitude and stuff like that, because I'm new to this city, bro. I don't know nobody, so
Mm-hmm.
couldn't be out here just running wild and doing crazy shit. So yeah, man, I love I definitely love the school. I love the people there. They treated me pretty well,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I learned a lot as well. So I did those 2 years playing ball out there, high school out there, and then I came to Vegas. I want to say like 2014, right?
Okay.
And I went to Cheyenne High School. That's the first high school I went to.
Okay.
Um, Unfortunately, the game I was supposed to play, I had ended up getting expelled for it was just some dumb shit, bro.
Okay.
The officers found a BB gun in my backpack, right?
Okay.
And he's like, man, do you got anything that can harm any students or hurt anybody or this
Of
and that?
course. Yeah.
I'm like, nah, because what I'm saying, I'm not thinking about like, damn, this BB gun can hurt somebody. But this is around a time where the school shootings and shit was
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of like they was trying to be on point with that.
Yeah,
So
no, it makes sense. Sadly, it makes sense. Yeah.
so I understood it. And then that happened. He took me out to the took me out to the hallway, asked me, and I'm me in denial and stuff like nah.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up checking my backpack. finding the BB gun, it wasn't no bullets or anything in there. Finding that shit, ended up getting expelled and
Yeah.
going to juvie, bro, for like 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
I had to sit down for like 2 weeks in juvenile.
Okay. So is that what caused the dropout?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Was that more of a mental thing for you, or you just didn't want to go back to school at all?
Um. So for me, bro, I did want to go to school, but I kind of was like, I was just like a knucklehead, like just doing
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, of course.
I was young, and I was just running the streets a lot, bro. I wouldn't say like I wasn't in the house a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like my
Well,
mom
that was
was
the
always
era
at
back
work or
then
whatever.
too. It was like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was more or less in the streets a lot, bro. So I was just doing shit, and
Hmm.
I look back and I do regret it. I do tremendously regret it because I know like with that opportunity, just playing high school ball, bro, who knows? I probably would have been way farther than where I'm at right now. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I think um that like when I got expelled from Cheyenne, that's what like really just made me like, damn, I don't even want to go to school no more, bro. Because I lived
Yeah.
adult school or whatever the case is. I graduated from there. When I didn't graduate, they made me go to another high school or whatever, and that was Canyon Springs. But I just didn't go to school. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have the drive anymore. Like I didn't have,
Hmm.
like the motivation to get up and go to school every day. So
No, of course. With all that going on, I mean, come on. The mental game is really strong when it comes to that kind of stuff.
yeah, and then but all in all, bro, I never lost the passion of playing basketball. Like when I was in school, when I dropped out, I was still finding ways to go play ball, go hoop, and because hooping is my therapy. That's where I get my release of stress and all.
Hmm.
I feel the most relaxed is being able to play ball, being able to, just be an artist on the court. You know what I'm saying? Be creative, do different things. And so I was basically skipping school, running the streets, but I was also finding time to work out, play basketball, keep my mind right. But I do regret it, bro, looking back, because I mean, I could have learned a lot of shit.
Mm.
I could have been further than where I'm.
Yeah. No, I personally, I have a tattoo. I've said it on my other shows. It says God has his reasons, smile now, cry later. You're gonna go through shit that's gonna make you happy. You're gonna go through shit that's gonna absolutely destroy you. I don't believe in regrets because when you did it, you wanted to do it or you needed to do it, whatever it was. That's just my opinion. But I do believe in live and learn, and you're a testament to that. You're in a semi-pro league. You're been a champion. You're gonna be a father. You're gonna teach your son, hey, don't do this, and this. And I kind of get annoyed when it's like, well, I did this. I don't want you to do this. I try not to do that with my son. I'm just blunt with him. Hey, I did this. If you end up doing it, we're gonna have issues, but I'm not gonna like get on your ass about it, unless it's something super dangerous, obviously, or illegal or whatever, then yeah. But, you live and you learn, dude. It's just that simple. So is what it is. Um, so before we jump, and that's a culture shock too, going from Chicago to Minnesota. That's two totally different lifestyles right there too. Kind of like Patrick Rittman. I think Rittman was, what was he, Drew? He was LA to Virginia or something like that, wasn't it? I believe.
Something I don't
I think it was I know it was Virginia. He went to Virginia for school. It was really crazy. Oh, Vermont, Vermont. I'm sorry, not Virginia, Vermont. That's even crazier. Okay, I'll let Drew go and jump in. Anything family related, anything past related, anything up to high school.
Yeah, I mean, testament to you, big family, mixed, blended, as Ricky called it. I mean, I have cousins, being Mexican, Hispanic. I mean, we got a lot. We don't die, we multiply.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
and
Puerto Rican, I get it.
it's kind of funny because it's almost like, not to sound racist, but like Mexicans and blacks, we tend to have big families and we have big family gatherings. We know how to cook at the grill.
Hmm.
So I'm right in that same culture with you.
Yep.
And I got two younger siblings. I was the only child from my mom and my dad, but my mom and my dad split when I was 5. And so my dad remarried when I was like 9. And I have a brother from my dad's side. He's 16 years younger than me. No, 14 years younger than me. And then my sister was born the next year from my mom's side, and she's 15 years younger than me. So I've always been like the father figure in a way to both,
Mm.
well, to my sister, not much my brother. But I could understand it, like you say, you keep family close, but sometimes, I mean, my sister lives 10 minutes away from me. We don't talk very often. My brother, he's all the way out in Palm Springs. I'll message him every once in a while. He follows me on social media, but they do have lives. And I always say it as a comment. I'll say things like, when you're close by your family, you don't visit as much, but when you're further away from them, all of a sudden you're like more close. It's like the
Hmm.
further you're closer.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I feel sometimes with families. But at the end, we're born into the family. We can't mix it up. Trust me, I'd have billionaires as my family if that was the choice. But
Yeah.
we do get to choose what we want as a career. We do to choose who we want as our friends. We get to choose who we fall in love with, our jobs, everything like that. So there's a couple things in life we can choose, but family is always forever.
Hmm.
Um, but long story short, yeah, it's my compliments to you. Gun violence. We don't like to get political on here as much, but I believe in Second Amendment,
Of
First
course.
Amendment, but also to the extent where there's certain gun control in a way needs to be out of the hands of people who have felonies and other things as well. I'm a strong, my dad was in the military. I have uncles who served, and we're all about it, respecting the gun. My dad taught me that at a young age when I was 7. This is a tool and a weapon, but you respect it.
Right.
Hmm.
So I lost an uncle. I never got to meet him. He was murdered back in 1983, 2 years before I was born. But he died to gun violence. And my dad always called him the muscle, and my dad was the brain. It was his brother, and he was lost at like 27 years old. So we could understand the hurt and the loss, but it motivates us sometimes to continue what they wanted. And if your brother had like ambitions of you making it a hoop dreams and everything else, you're pretty much playing with that chip on your shoulder. So just continue to keep moving forward and everything like that. Like yeah, I send a bio to Ricky. We're getting our website up. Shout out, we're getting
Yep.
our website up.
That's
Thank
right. It's
you.
coming probably in the
And
next couple of
I
days.
did send a bio out there. I did play 2 sports when I was in high school. Wasn't a star athlete. All defense, 1999. Whatever. Going to go back, but but in reality, it's like sometimes hearing like a story like you're saying you dropped out because of circumstances and stuff. But if you would have probably had, I'm thinking like, here's my question to you, would be like if you had kind of an older influence that was maybe in high school that would have motivated you maybe to go pursue high school more and keep you motivated for high basketball while you were playing in high school, do you think you would have probably pushed more forward in your high school?
So that's a great question, bro. And I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. Like, I think if I had my dad around, like if I actually had my pops around, so it was just my mom, and that's a lot of stress on her to try to keep
Hmm.
3 kids, bro. Because I'm gonna keep it real. Me, my brother, and my sister, we all around the same age. I'm 29, my sister's like 30, and my little brother's like 26, 27,
Hmm.
right? So like, everybody is doing their own shit. And not having my pops around to like kind of give me some guidance or show me the ropes, it kind of fucked with me mentally because my dad was like, he was in and out of my life. So it was like he
Hmm.
for a little bit and then he'll disappear. You see what I'm saying? So like for me, seeing my mom go through what she was going through, like as far as being a single parent, it stressed me out to the point where I felt like I had to go like get in the streets, bro, and just try to get it by any means necessary. And that was
Hmm.
like it was like fuck, like it ruined my it. I don't know. I wouldn't say it ruined my life, bro, but it definitely taught me like you know can never be unappreciative of your parent, bro. A single
Hmm.
a single whether it's your mom or your dad, you can never ever, be unappreciative or not be grateful for what they did and how, you are on this earth today. So like for me, it's just like, just to get back to your question, to if I had my pops, bro, I think life would be totally different for me. You know,
Hmm.
'cause
Gotcha.
we'll have more.
100.
Well, yeah,
No, go ahead,
I,
Drew.
100%. I can contest, yeah, even though my parents both divorced, I still had pops around, but I lived in a house where my teenage years and my, childhood years, I was surrounded by women. I had my grandmother, my aunts, my mom, cousins, all living in a house. Like I said, we're Mexicans. And long story short, I always felt a chip on my shoulder, not only because my dad, he was around, but he lived in LA and I was down here in San Diego. I always felt like I have to prove that I'm better than most. And what I
Hmm.
would do is, and when I was in high school, when I found out both other than my dad's and them, but a lot of my cousins, a lot of my, things that from my grandmother's point aside, both my grandmothers, my dad's side and my mom's, they didn't see any grandchildren graduate high school. So that was my motivation fuel
Hmm.
when I was younger, was to say, you know what, I'm doing this for my nana and I'm doing this for my grandmother,
Hmm.
100%, because they've raised me as well. So I'm like, I'm gonna get through high school because of this. There was times when I was not doing homework, ditching class as well. We all did it. So, but you gotta have some kind of motivation. And like, yeah, it's tough. Single mother, three kids, roughly about 3 to 4 years apart from each other. I could see the juggling act. Your mom probably had to work
Hmm.
hard just to get food on the table and stuff. And of
Hmm.
course, when you're at that age of 13, 14, whatever it is, and you're kind of forced into the role of, hey, I gotta be a man up
Yep.
and I gotta provide help. I want to help provide my mom,
I was
some
17,
struggles.
so yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I can contest, and not relate, but I can definitely see the passion that you felt. Like, yeah, if Pops was around, maybe things would have been a lot easier. But like Ricky said on his tattoo, God makes decisions for a reason, and you cry now, you smile later. But because you had that hard work mentality instilled in you at a young age, it's going to motivate you so that when
Hmm.
you're like older, you'll have your head together. So kudos.
No, 100, dude. 100. I'm also in a divorced family, same thing, and I was 17, so I'm right there with you. So shout out to all the single moms, single dads as well. If it's flipped the other way, and like I talked to Polly about off air, as long as the parents are willing to work together and not use the child as a pawn, divorces don't have to be horrible. They're part of life,
No.
Yeah.
unfortunately. But as long as you can be cordial and not use your child as a pawn, then you can move on in life. I'm gonna leave it at that. So, yeah, Polly, if you want to go ahead and respond to what Drew just said, then we can move on to post high school.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I appreciate that for sure. Like I said, just but if I could give advice to any of the younger kids out there, bro, I think it just starts with being respectful, bro. Be respectful to your parents, bro. Love your parents, whether you got a single pop, single moms, or whatever the case is. Love your people, man. Like,
Hmm.
don't be out here respectful of giving them a hard time because I did that when I was younger, and it really don't get you nowhere. You feel me? So like, be respectful, love your people, treat everybody with respect. You know what I'm saying, and cherish those moments with your family.
Hmm.
That's the but Nah, I appreciate that though, Joe, for real. I
No,
mean,
no,
Yeah.
no problem, Paulie. Yeah, it's pretty much like, dusk to dawn, bro. They're here one moment, the next moment they're not. So
100.
you gotta treasure every moment.
Yep.
Take that, like, what is it? Like, what movie was it? Oh my God. Well, it's a horror film, but it's relatable at the end when one character he's dying. It's I think it's Dawn of the Dead, and he's like, treasure every last
Second.
second.
Yep.
yeah.
It's the little things that stand out. And again, we talked off air about that. It's the little things that stand out. I do want to ask about juvie, just for kids who might possibly be going to juvie or in juvie, and they get out and they see this. Um, they say your time in jail, you were only in for, you said 2 weeks, but that's still 2 weeks, man. That's a culture shock for 2+ weeks. Did it anything affect you in any way? Did you learn anything while you were there mentally? Like maybe hardworking wise? Did the POs were they as horrible as they say they are? Like, what can you talk about being in juvie?
I'm gonna just keep it real. Like me, the learning experience I got from juvie was I really don't want to be here. I don't want to
Okay.
have to um anybody telling me when I gotta wake up or when I gotta eat or what I'm saying,
Hmm.
when I got or like when I got out, I just was like I can never ever be put in this situation again because it was like hell, it was just
Hmm.
like you literally being controlled
Yep.
and told to do at every fucking moment. And it's like you ain't really got no choice but to do it. Otherwise, you either gonna be put in your set, put in your room or
Totally.
whatever,
Hmm.
or you just gonna it's just basically gonna be a hard time in there. The
Yep.
CO's gonna fuck with you. They gonna like once they see that you like, oh yeah, you're not listening or you just doing what you want to do, whatever the case
Hmm.
is. That's when it gets tricky. It gets worse in there. So I say the learning experience for me was I really don't want to be in here, and it's really not a place for a person like me. Um, especially with my energetic type of vibes and what I'm saying, like how I am, bro, as a person. I just feel like jail is very depressing, and I don't wish that on nobody. I don't wish that
Yeah.
on nobody.
Well, that
That
means it.
type of.
So what you're saying is it did its job. It did what
And
it's
no, I did
supposed to do. So that's
for sure. It did its job. I haven't failed. I haven't been to prison, whatever. I haven't been.
awesome.
That was my only mishap. So I definitely learned from that for sure.
No, that's awesome because you get people who get out and they're just like, you know what, screw it. I don't care about my life anymore. I'm just gonna go F up again. And maybe it's safer. Well, well, like you said, your family, you had a good family aspect. Some people don't have that. They're like, I don't want to go back home. I'm gonna get in trouble, so I can go back to Judy, so I can be with my brothers, who I just made
Revolving,
brotherhood
it's
with.
like a revolving
It's
door.
safe. It's safety net. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So thank you for that again, Paula. You just did it again. You might have saved a life. You don't even know, bro. Okay, so we're out of high school. You said you went to a JUCO. Did they look into the fact that you were a dropout, like at all?
So I'm gonna tell you this story, which is crazy how it worked out. So I had moved back to Minnesota because I came to Vegas, right, and I was
Okay.
dropped out, did that. I moved back to Minnesota with my pops, so I stayed with my pops for like 2018 to like 2020, so 2 years, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I was looking up campuses and schools or whatever, like colleges, basically, and seeing like, okay, maybe I could just walk on, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe I could just go to and the coaches see me like hoop or something and give me an opportunity. You feel me? So
Yeah.
uh really like it was yesterday, bro. I just walked into the gym and the college ended up running having an open gym, right? So, I had my white beater on, just looking all ghetto and shit, just walking in the trying to make the team, bro, trying to get you know, trying to see what I could do basically. So I walked up to the coach and at first she's like looking at me like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Like, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? Kind of giving me that face. I'm just like, man, coach, I just want an opportunity. If you could please let me hoop, play, try out or whatever, and I'll show you it's worth it. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying to convince him to let me hoop, bro. Trying to convince him to let me play. Um, so he bought in and let me play. The first scrimmage, I was up against their point guard or whatever that they had already, um, and I'm just killing them, just going at them, bro. Just being a dog. Y'all know how I play, bro.
Yeah.
Just picking up 94 feet, shot making, getting everybody involved, facilitating, doing what I gotta do. Uh, I could just see like the coach, like, okay, okay, but really still wasn't enough to like have them sold, right? So the next day they had another one. Then I came, just doing the same shit, just playing basketball, playing hard, showing that I belong, on the court with these guys. And he didn't really say much to me. Like he didn't really say much to me at the gym, but had gave him my number, so he had called me and was just telling me like, yeah, come to my office tomorrow morning, whatever, and we're gonna chop it up and talk. And, I did that, whatever, and he gave me an opportunity, bro, and it was like definitely a life changing experience for me because college and just being in that setting, like that's where like I learned how to be like you know a teammate, how I learned to
Hmm.
be more of a man and how to talk, communicate respectfully. Like all of that is where like I learned a lot. I learned a
Hmm.
lot. Coach Andrew Cohn, I definitely salute him for giving me an opportunity because, like you said, bro, I dropped out of high school, bro. I didn't go to high school, so I didn't have no film to show these guys, like, damn, this is how
Hmm.
I hoop. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just
Yeah.
kind of had instincts in his gut, and I definitely respect him for that because it changed my life, bro. It definitely did change my life, and it made me fall in love with the game more, like
Mhm.
a lot more. Just working out, um, getting up at 6 a.m., having practice, going on road trips, going to games, you know, doing that shit. That's what made me go harder, bro. Like I just felt like I was really in my bag. I was glowing. You feel me? So
Hmm.
definitely proud respect for Andrew Cohn for letting me get the opportunity.
Yeah. So
That's pretty much.
shout out to Coach Cohen. So you are at a college now, which means you do still got to take classes, correct? So what was that adjustment like? Because you said you weren't all about school or anything, but you're like, hey, I got to hoop, I got to go to class.
That adjustment was still like kind of like a learning experience for me. But I had a lot of resources because the coach did want me to play. Like the coach was behind me 100%. So he would
Good.
give. I would go to his office sometimes and ask him questions about some of these papers, or try to get in good with the teachers, talking to them because I didn't go to high school. So a lot of the things that people knew or the people would be like, damn, how you don't know that? I really didn't know that because I didn't have
Yeah.
the, bro, I was in the streets. I wasn't in school, like
Hmm.
doing other shit, so I didn't
Yeah.
know a common things. So
Hmm.
I kind
Right.
of managed years, things like that, going to my teacher, going to my coach, trying to stay after, and asking my teammates and shit like that, like, just getting as much help as I could, so I
Hmm.
could be able to stay on the court. It wasn't easy. I mean, sometimes I was failing, sometimes I would miss assignments, but in all, bro, I definitely felt like I did pretty cool.
I'd say you did. You're a freaking division champion, you're a regional champion, you've done a lot of things. And now you got the best thing coming up, which is fatherhood. And honestly, Paulie, everything you've gone through, it's gonna come back on your son in a good way because you're gonna think with your heart and not with your head on a lot of things here. You know, everything you're gonna do is for him. Everything you're gonna do is for him and for your queen, no matter what. And regardless of what happens, like I said, regardless of what happens, that baby is gonna be your priority. Those 2 a.m. feedings, those diaper changes at 3, 4 in the morning, the watching Bluey at freaking, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning all the time, and then having to go hoop at 7 a.m. or whatever, and then um, those are the moments. Those are the moments you're gonna need to remember. The baby shower was cool. You got to have a baby shower, which I thought was pretty cool. It just shows people who are gonna support you and be there for you. And again, you need advice. I'm a dad, dude. I got a 14-year-old. Hit me up anytime. Anytime. I'm not gonna bullshit you. You know that. But like we talked about off air, there is literally no playbook for being a parent. And it's like taking a test that you haven't studied for. Unless, like Drew said, you have been the father figure in your life, but it's different when it's your own. So again,
Yeah.
like we talked about off air, don't be afraid to humble yourself. Don't be afraid to take advice. You don't have to do it, but be nice enough to listen to the advice of other people that have been through it, because different people see it from a different scope, your pops may see it a certain way, your mom may see it a certain way, your auntie might see it a certain way, your teacher, your coach, whatever. You know, you talk to Neek, Aunt, me, whatever. We're going to give you different points of view, but we've all been through it. So, and like I said, don't be afraid to make mistakes. So that's my fatherly advice to you. Again, I'm a phone call away. You know that. But let's talk happy here, bro. Like what 1 week? 1 week, right? A week
Well,
and a half? That's crazy, bro.
countdown, countdown. It's
That's
countdown.
amazing.
So
That's
I'm
amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing, dude. You're never gonna forget that moment, dude. You're never ever gonna forget that moment. Just like I said, be there for your queen, no matter what she needs. Just get it for her. Be nice to her. Be treat her like the queen she is, you know? And then like when you're
yeah,
like I said, when baby's born, I mean, it's your first, you're gonna want to spoil the crap out of him, which is fine when he's little, but when he gets older, you know, make him work for his stuff, make him learn some of his stuff. Like you're a very that kind of approach. You know, you're friendly, but like we talked about off air, you got to be stern. There's sometimes you got to be a friend, and there's sometimes you got to be a dad. You
yeah,
know, I had that last week. I really, really had to go down my son's throat because of something I'm not going to talk about, but it was really, really serious. And I'm like, you need to get your shit straight, dude, or you're gonna get the boot on X, Y, and Z. You know, and I don't physically hit my kid ever. But I'm like, I will pull you out of X, Y, and Z. You know, you get your grade. Like his grades are great. His grades are good. He's doing really good in school. He was doing sport. He's doing sports. He's doing drama. You know, he got a play coming up. He's in church. You know, there's stuff going. But there's times where you're gonna want to be his buddy. You're gonna want to watch Bluey. You're gonna want to watch, you know, when he gets older, you're gonna watch games together, stuff like that. But there's gonna be times where it's like, hey, did you do your homework yet? Oh, you didn't do your homework? Guess what? Video
yeah.
games off, you know? And sometimes you have to be that dad. And it's not easy, but it's very, very, very rewarding. And that's I'm gonna leave it at that for you. I want to get your perspective, Paulie. You said you're excited, but literally, let's be real here. Let's be emotional. Let's open up. What are you feeling as a dad to be in 1 week besides excited, my dude?
Besides excited, bro, the emotions I got is kind of just like thinking like, how am I gonna be, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, I
Hmm.
can't be afraid to make mistakes, bro. It's no
Hmm.
full book to and I be needing that. I be needing to hear that though, for real. So I appreciate you, Ricky. But I be
DM away, bro. DM anytime. You know that.
you know, some of those talks where it's like, bro, because I'm not a like I'm new to this fatherhood, bro.
Hmm.
I'm new to being a dad. So, you know, I be trying to take advice from some of my homeboys that's already pops and already doing it. So I be trying to look at and you know, everybody's not gonna dad or parent the same, bro.
Hmm.
Do it all how they do it. I just try to look at how do they love their kids, how do they nurture
Hmm.
and be there for their.
Yep.
I don't want to implement that with my kid as far
Hmm.
as you know, loving my kid. Said I'm not gonna spoil my kid, but I am gonna make sure that my kid don't need for nothing. You know, the
Exactly.
things that I went through, faced in my childhood, I don't want my kid to have to go through that. So I'm gonna try my best, bro, to just be the best I could be for my son.
Hmm.
Uh, You know what I'm saying? And be his role model, bro. That's what matters to me. Being his role model, being someone that he can look up to
Hmm.
and you know, be like, my pops was the truth. Like he can be able to talk and tell his friends, like, I love my dad. Like my dad's always been there for me. Like that's the type of stuff I kind of be thinking about. Like, damn, I gotta
Hmm.
really pick it up more and more. I gotta grind harder. I gotta even when I'm sleepy, bro. I gotta
That's the times. Yep.
get strong. Like, cause
Yep.
I'm bro. It's not gonna be easy dealing with a
Nope.
newborn.
It won't be
Man.
easy at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not easy at all, but it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
so
working.
that's pretty much what I'm feeling, bro. I'm really just
Mhm.
grateful to be able to have a kid as well. Like some people out there in the world can't have kids.
This is yeah, exactly.
So
Again, you guys are watching Double Dribble episode 86. Nothing but net with Las Vegas guard Paulie Coleman. We're sponsored by Ewin Connect Marketing. Donovan, thank you. 45 minutes into the show so far. Paulie, again, we'll get back into the parental aspect of your life. I'm gonna let Drew jump in a minute. I was working two jobs. I'd work like 6 a.m. to like 2:30 to 3 p.m. at Disneyland, and then I would go straight to the stadium and work till 11 p.m. and I would go home and take care of the baby.
Yeah.
overnight and stuff. And then and this was, I actually did this twice because I was engaged before my ex Ashley, and I was engaged. That person who I was engaged to had a baby, not from me, but had a baby prior, who I'm still really close to right now. She's 16 now. I kind of like my kind of little my other daughter. I always check on her, make sure she's okay, things are going and stuff. She's doing really good, and I'm very proud of her. But dude, same thing. I had two jobs. Same thing, I think it was Disney and Angels. Come home and I would just be up with her all night, you know? And then same thing with my son Lewis. Same thing, dude. Same thing. And this is a horrible example, but you being a hooper, think about it. It's fourth quarter. When you're up at 3 in the morning, you're barely able to move. You're going to pick up little man. Dude, this is fourth quarter. This is crunch time. You feel like you're about to pass out, but you have to do this. This is
Right.
someone's life is depending on it. Your team's depending on you. Your life is depending on his life is depending on you and your wife, your girlfriend, So just remember that. And that's scary. It's very scary. I'm
No.
not gonna lie to you. But it is so damn rewarding when you get to like look down at their smile, and you get to carry them on your shoulders and you're walking around your Disneyland or whatever or down the strip and it's worth it. It's worth every freaking second, dude. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna let Drew jump in because I'm gonna start getting emotional here. Drew, anything fatherly advice? I know you're not a dad, but you've been a dad figure for a very long time.
Yeah, I've been a father figure kind of to not just my brother and my sister, but other people that I've mentored. I've gone to my community in Southeast San Diego where I kind of grew up a lot and help mentor the kids there, give them advice, whether it's on the court or off the court. And I could mentor their ways too. So kind of have a father influence. I always say I probably wouldn't have been I would have been a bitchin' dad. I'm still in the age group where I can father, but like it says, it takes any man could go out and be a father, but it takes a real man to be a dad. And like Ricky was saying, those 3 a.m.s, 4 a.m.s and stuff. That was times I remember hearing my brother crying in the other room and I'd have to go pick him up. Or my sister, whatever, needed a feeding or something. So go and help my moms out and stuff when they were not feeling too well. So I can relate to that, but it's just, you just keep grinding, just like you do on the court. We've seen when you've played, just bring that same mentality, that same passion, that same fire and desire to your little man. And pretty sure with your life experiences, obviously we always say, hey, son, or always, hey, when you're not going to struggle as much as I did. We always want the best for our kids, but just know that life is full of obstacles and sometimes you can't make the hurdle, you can't make the jump. They gotta trip up a little bit because you gotta let them. You
Yeah.
gotta let them grow. You gotta let them make mistakes. That's why pencils have erasers, because we're allowed to fix what we do so that we don't make the same mistake twice.
Yep.
Mhm.
So just keep that same mentality like you do on the court, and everything should move forward.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. So, okay. So Paulie, we're about 10 minutes away from the 1 hour mark. Are you okay for another like 15 or 20? Maybe about 15? So we can talk a little
Yeah.
Vegas Royals? All right, cool. So I'll go and reset this for another 25. Okay, so you could tell how freaking excited I am for you to be a dad. There's nothing better than being a dad. I don't care what anybody says. I don't, as these deadbeat dads piss me off. These deadbeat moms piss me off. Oh, I'm gonna go be with my sugar daddy, my sugar mama, some stripper, some hooker. Like, I'm just gonna go off and just go do my life and leave my kids. I know people who have went to the other side of the damn country and ditched half of their family. And it's just no, no, hell no. I knew a dad who never saw his kid. It was my buddy, and I shit you not, he lived 2 blocks from him. That shit pisses me off. That's my Ricky's rant for today. Sorry. So no, I know you. You're not. You're okay. So let's see. Let's jump into some basketball. All right.
Talk-
That's how I know you. All right. I know Pauley Coleman from. I've been in 6 years. Drew's been in for 7. I think I met you in 2021 when I was with the Suns. You're one of my favorite players, bro, and I don't say that to everybody. You're a hard-nosed player, you're a clean player, and you're a team player, and I respect the hell out of you for that. Um, so you got out of college, you got out of the JUCO, and
Mhm.
then did you go to any like city league, summer league, anything like that before you went to the Royals?
Um, I actually had got a scholarship, bro, to an NAIA.
Oh shit. Okay.
So after the JUCO, I got a scholarship full ride to this school called Dakota Westland. It
Okay.
was out in South Dakota. But COVID, it was around COVID, so
Mm,
our season, I'm like, bro, I don't want to stay on this campus, bro. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, I
yeah.
already really don't even like I'm here to hoop, I'm here to play, and they canceled our season, So
Yeah.
that
Makes
kind of
sense.
it kind of just made me like, fuck that, bro. I'm not even about to stay on the
Of
campus.
course. No, of course. Of course.
I don't really even like school that much to just. So
Yeah.
I did that. Came back to Vegas. I was hooping in men's leagues. I was hooping, I was really hooping at the park a lot. Like we had this park called Lorenzi Park, and
Mm-hmm.
I'd go up there 6 o'clock every night. When the sun goes down, basically just going out there and hooping. And just I was just hooping, bro. But then I finally got invited to some teams at Tarkanian
Okay.
men's league games and shit like that. Started hooping in those. Start like people started you know, knowing my name based on
Yeah.
that, the men's league, the target hooping in that. So my name started buzzing from that. And then I really don't I think I had heard about the Royals, bro, and I seen like a couple of their games. So Dominique, whatever, I had walked up to him and was just telling him how I wanted to play and, be a part of the program. And I think he told me like to come to a game one time, and I had pulled up, and
Mm-hmm.
it was all she, bro. We just,
Yep. That's what it's
yeah.
about with Neek. You just got to show up and show out. And you did that. And how many years later? Here you are, one of the main stars on the squad. And sadly, we didn't get to see you at the sectional championship because that would have been pretty badass because we were there live at the Tarkanian. But shout out to Tarkanian. They took care of us this past weekend. It was awesome. But that's awesome. And there's that opportunity. God has his reasons. We talked about this, Paulie, earlier in the show. You didn't know Neek. You finally met Neek. You saw Neek. He said, "Show up." You showed up. You showed out, and you've been with them ever since. My question to you there,
Yeah.
and again, Neek. I'm not sure if Neek is on this show, but I know that the head coach is Anthony McNeely, who we interviewed last week live at the Tarkanian. How have these guys changed your life in any way?
So I would say for Neek, just giving me that opportunity to come and play semi-pro basketball, that changed my life, bro. Because who knows what I'd be doing or where I would
Mm-hmm.
be, if I didn't have that opportunity. Letting me travel to different cities and stuff, states. Because I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I didn't have money like
Mm-hmm.
that when I was with the. Have a lot of money. I didn't really have no job, so him giving me that opportunity, making sure I'm good where I would stay at. I respect Neek for that
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Ant just a stand up guy all around.
Mm-hmm.
Ant man, favorite guys, bro. He's very very outspoken, but he's also very like he doesn't want to really he's very like he don't like confrontation. So basically, he's
No,
trying to
yeah.
avoid that,
Sometimes you got to pull it
and
out of him. Yeah.
and try to pull it out of him. So like for me, I was seeing like how people was like kind of like in a sense bullying him. You feel me? So like kind of not coach, bro. So I felt like, you know what, bro, I'm gonna fuck with him because he no matter how try to make it like you know what I'm saying, like damn, make fun of him or talk bad about him, he still show up, he still give
Yep.
it his all. He's still being himself, and like for me, I respected that. And one thing I do respect about Ant, bro, and I'm gonna tell you not to get all like emotional and shit. He's just a down to earth person, bro. He'll do anything for anybody, bro,
Yep.
and he ain't gonna turn. And I learned a lot from him, just being like, you know what, it's okay to help people and not ask for something, or it's
Mm-hmm.
okay to show love and not ask for love in return. Like I learned a lot from him, because I was a hothead, bro. I was a hothead. I was very like I was a hothead. Like I would get into it. Like one little word somebody say to me, it'll set me off. And Ant was just telling me like, bro, you gotta be calmer. We need you. We gotta you know what I'm saying? You gotta chill out. You know, like all of those talks and all of those things that we did together, it definitely helped me into the man that I am today. It helped me be the man that I am today. So yeah, I appreciate both of them, bro. They definitely helped me out a lot. So I can't sit here and say, you know,
Yeah.
those talks and those road trips and shit like that, the bonding time that we had as a
Mhm.
Royal, as a Royal was cool. It was definitely cool. Definitely a learning experience.
I love the fact that you just used the word bonding. It took to the end, but you said bonding. A lot of teams
Yeah.
don't have team bonding. They don't. And it goes a long way. And I know the Royals do team bonding. You guys have done barbecues. You guys have done trips. You guys have done, whatever. I've seen it. Yeah, and I respect the hell out of that because I've been with a lot of teams. I've been with 5 organizations, and not all the organizations do that. As a matter of fact, some of the organizations don't even like each other. They're just there to hoop, make the money, and leave you know?
Right.
So, and sadly, that's what it's come to on a lot. So I love the fact that you said what you said, and I will back you 1000% on both of the things you said because they both do that for me as well. And we'll talk till 2 in the morning. If you watch episode 84 from last a couple weeks ago or last week, episode 84, Hard Times to Hoop Dreams, he talks about that. He talks about all the emotions he went through, all the stuff he went through, and then the fact that he has players that respect him and that he can mold and stuff like that. So definitely, I back you 100% on that. We got about 15 minutes left of the extra time that Paulie Coleman was nice enough to give us. Paulie, real quick, in a couple minutes, we talked about how the Royals changed your life, but what is it like to be a Royal? You've been a champion because of them numerous times, actually. You're in a new division now, so you're a new division champion as well. And what is the mentality of being a Royal? Like, just the mentality.
The mentality, bro, is you just gotta be a dog, man. You gotta be a dog. You gotta you gotta want that shit. Like at the end of the day, you can't come in putting on this royal uniform and expecting to be all cute or playing all pretty. We doing
Hmm.
any so like when I was hooping or when I was playing with the Royals, I always play basketball anyways, like it's my last game. So I
Hmm.
try teammates and players to follow behind me and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless if I'm having a bad shooting night, there's other things on the court that you can do. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Whether it's diving on the floor, getting assists, you
Yep.
know, in a all around hustle type of a guy. And I think that being a Royal, bro, you gotta be grit. You gotta be hard nosed. You gotta be ready, bro. Like you can't be nervous. You can't go out there and be like, man, I ain't ready. Like you gotta be ready at all times because we was at one point ranked, bro. We was ranked very, very high in the nation, and I
Hmm.
see that they know that, and they want to beat us any chance they get. They want to, you know what I'm saying, blow us out so they can.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we beat. You know what I'm saying? They want like,
Yeah.
bro. We was lethal, bro, at one point, and you know we still are. We still are the truth. I haven't been playing with the Royals as much, but I know once I come back, like it's like riding a bike, bro. We gonna pick up we where I left off, and we just
Yep.
gonna go from. Yeah, being a Royal, bro, it comes down to being a dog and learning how to be able to bond and treat everybody with respect, bro. That's what the Royal.
Yeah, it's about family and respect, exactly. And you guys have unfinished business next year. We'll leave it at that. Drew, about 2 minutes. Anything ABA related you want to ask Paulie Coleman?
Well, yeah, he's been with the team for quite some time now. I remember how much he put a hurting on I think it was the Suns in 23, right?
Yeah, it's something like
So
that.
yeah, when they won, I remember that game. It was a close one. It was a great game. Unfortunately, the footage has been lost.
That was 2021. Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
first year after COVID. Mhm.
yeah,
It's a
man.
long, it's a long story, bro. It's a
Yeah,
long
it's
story. We'll leave it
crazy
at
how
that.
that footage is lost, bro. It was a game. That was a game. Regardless of the outcome, it was a game.
Yeah,
You had to be there. I mean, the crowd was hyped.
yeah, it was.
It was packed. I just remember how much it was.
Yep.
It was great. But this ABA, yeah, we've been around this game, like Ricky said, 6 years. Now he's gonna be doing guest appearances because he's got a new gig starting up in the when the season starts. I've been around this game for 7 years and putting it out there. I'm a free agent again,
Yeah.
so we'll see who picks up my stats if they want it. But yeah, just shout out, just keep doing your thing because, like, if there's great footage and the stats are done right, I've seen guys change their game from ABA.
Hmm.
We got three that were in the Suns. We got the Hezzy God, we had
Mm.
Body Bag, and a couple other guys who played on the big three or done their stuff like
Yep.
overseas.
Yep.
So there is opportunity there, and not no discredit to the ABA. I
Hmm.
just feel, I've said this a million shows, and I'll say it again. There has to be some kind of structure. 190 teams isn't going to do it. We need to
Yep.
condense it down to about 40, 30, 35,
Yep.
40 of real teams who really want to do it.
Yeah.
And we got owners here that don't invest the time, the money. The Royals have always, with Ant and Dom, they've always had their culture of family and community, and they go all in every year, no
Hmm.
matter what. Their record could be 0-20 or 20-0. They're going to always do their thing for the community, no matter what. And they buy into it, and that's what the league needs to look into: is teams that are hungry, that
Hmm.
are buying in every year and putting in the structure, and say, let's just roll with those teams and get rid of all the riffraff and the trash and the recycling. Send it to the recycling bin, all the ones that don't want to be around, because that would make our league look more wholesome, and it would also look more togetherness and put a bigger spotlight on it, saying, hey, this up and coming league that's been around for a long time
Hmm.
is actually doing well with their community. They're getting players signed deals. So, there's opportunity here. And guys like me, Ricky, George, Josh, you, Paulie, Ant, and all these other guys we would reap the benefits of it if it was
Hmm.
condensed. So keep doing your thing in the ABA, because there are people watching. And a
Yep.
platform like this, like Ricky says, can change someone's life who's thinking, hey, you know what? I'm 19. I'm in JUCO. Maybe I can go ABA and see, the hoop dream is still alive. I'm 40 and I'm still pushing golf dreams. I no or playing pickup basketball. It's funny because now with the USBL, I see the assistant coach, the head coach, and the GM were doing like a little showcase where they were shooting around, and I was doing a guy Levy game the last game,
Hmm.
and I made like 15 shots in a row straight off the glass, 15 feet in. That's my shot. That's my bread and butter. John Wooden. And they're looking at me and they're like, Drew, why didn't you play this year? And I'm like, y'all didn't give me the fucking opportunity. If you would have gave me the opportunity, we probably would have not lost to the Suns. Let's just put it that.
This
Yeah.
guy.
I would have dropped 20, 30 on them.
This guy.
Seriously.
This guy. So Paulie, I got a quick question to bounce off of what Drew just said. I'm just gonna ask you straight up, and it's a yes or no question. Do you have an agent?
No,
Do
no,
you
no
want an
agent.
agent? Do you want an agent?
Oh yeah, yeah, hell
Drew
yeah.
Drew is a certified agent.
Is he?
I'm dead
Yep.
serious. He's a.
Yeah.
You guys need to. I'm gonna hook you guys
I've
up.
been I've been an I've been an agent. Well, let's see. So I was going like I'm a late bloomer. I went back to college back right around the same time you said COVID. I had a career change. I hated doing working punching a clock every day. I was a mailman for 3.5 years with the United States Postal Service. No discredit to the United States Postal Service. Those guys work hard. I worked hard. But there's times when it's like you're a statistic, you're a number to them. To them, you're disposable. You can get rid of you in a
Hmm.
heartbeat. I had a incident where I had a spider bite me on the route, and they wrote me up as an accident, and that
Hmm.
Damn.
follows your record. And I'm
Wow.
like, really? So any way they can discredit you to move up on the ladder, they're going to do it.
Well, that's
So
a
I was like, you know what?
governmental job, so that
So
doesn't
then I'm
surprise
like,
me.
bro, I'm tired. And at the time I was married, I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a career change. I'm going back to school. And it's funny, I went back to school. COVID hit, unfortunately, but it made me rekindle a couple friendships. And one of them was a guy. His name's Abraham. Shout out to Rosales Sports. He's big in Latin America and Mexico and placing guys through Europe. And he's like, hey, have you ever thought of being a basketball agent or doing something? I was like, well, sports have been in my bread since I was been alive. So he's all, well, you could do some grunt work for me. Just go and talk to parents, talk to players. I'll give you profiles, and you just call them up and message them and do whatever. So I learned the business from him. I wasn't getting paid. I was doing it pro bono, but at the time it worked out because I was making the phone calls. And then, long story short, I was like, you know what? I can do this for a career. And I looked into classes because COVID, we couldn't go physically watch games because of all the restrictions. But I was able to take online
Hmm.
courses. So I took online courses to become certified. I took the test and I passed. So I'm certified for FIBA through International Basketball. And then from him, I branched off and built my own agency. So that's why you see the logo behind me. But I can get guys placed. I tell this all the time. It's like, if you're real dead serious about your career, if you're real dead serious about moving forward, I have people that I agent with, people that I've networked with, being around the game for 35 plus years, plus the 6 years I've had this agency.
Hmm.
I can open doors for you if you're real dead serious. I
Yep.
got a guy now. I only have one guy exclusively to me now, but he's older, and it's tough when they're older to get him placed. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of stuff that comes into it,
Hmm.
but you grow. It's kind of the same thing. It's baby steps. You learn from it. But if you're real dead serious, hit me up. Ricky's gonna send you the information. Anybody watching this, just it's not what
Yep.
you know, it's who you know. And
Yep.
that's what I've learned being this
There you
agent.
go.
Right now I focus more on my stats company because that's the one that's opening more doors. But in bread and butter, I'm not here to get rich off you at all as an agent. I
Yep.
want you to
Exactly.
succeed. It's pretty much like there I am being the father again to these young
Hmm.
kids for their hoop dreams. Because
Yep.
I'm gonna cheer for you. I'm gonna push for you to get signed. I'm gonna do anything, and I'll take less of a cut. Most agents take 10%. I'll
Hmm.
take 5 because I want you to be elevated, not me.
Exactly. So in a nutshell, Paulie, I'm gonna give you his Insta. Y'all talk. Y'all talk.
Yeah, yeah.
I got who was it? Rittman. Rittman. Or was it Rittman that we talked to? Someone else that didn't have an agent that
Yeah,
was
there's a
talking to
lot of
Drew.
y'all.
Yeah, there was a few of them on our shows, and we're all about helping you guys. And I know you're damn good enough that you should be getting the more recognition than what you're getting now. And that's not a knock on anybody. But if we can put you above that mountain, bro, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so we're just about done. We got about 6 minutes left. Again, to you guys, we're sponsored by E1 Connect Marketing. Donovan Hilton, thank you so much for all your help this year as well. Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble, episode 86, Nothing But Net with Las Vegas guard Pauley Coleman. What a story, Pauley. Oh my God. Like I said, I don't know what it is about you Vegas players, man, but emotional shows, and y'all are gonna change lives. From Hard Times to Hoop Dreams with Ant, from everything Dominique has told us in the last couple interviews he's done, to you with your gun violence and dropping out of school and going back to school and chasing the hoop dream and now being a dad, gonna be a dad. You know, the world works in weird ways. God has his reasons for everything, and if he's going to lead you to a storm, he's going to lead you through a storm. Remember that as well, Paulie. Um, so we're going to go to the end. This is usually where we have our little fun segments. Drew has a business segment called Off the Hoof, so I'm going to let him do that. I have a segment called ISO, one versus one, and then we do our final thought. So, Drew, what do you got for Off the Hoof today?
Well, off the hoof, it's we like I already said, I already split my spiel right here about agency and stuff. But just like Paulie, I know gonna be an upcoming dad. Shout out to you. He's gonna be an April baby. Shout out to us April babies here. Yes, sir.
That's right. You're an April baby too. That's right.
Yes, sir. I'm a Taurus, so it looks like he'll be an Aries, which is
I
which
think
will
so.
be April 1st is my dad's birthday, so it's not he ain't no fool either. Um, But but
Yeah.
but but in all seriousness here, though, obviously Hoop Dreams is always, 99% of the guys we interview on here always have inspires them for the Hoop Dreams. But now that you got more responsibilities with being a father and the Hoop Dreams are still there, is there anything business savvy that you would put your mind in just as much as you would do for the desire for basketball if that doesn't come to fruition?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that would be probably like training kids, um, giving back the game, giving back the knowledge, um, that type of stuff. So that's probably what I would pursue, put my mind toward training kids. Because believe it or not, training kids is a six-figure business, bro, for real.
Oh yeah, it
Um,
is.
so
I know a couple guys who have gyms. They have things like I've even told players that if you're down in San Diego, I could link you up with these guys. They can get you trained. They can keep
Hmm.
you motivated to keep kids off the streets.
yeah,
Pretty much,
And that's
if
what it's
if
all
a
about.
kid a kid doesn't have time to put a gun in his hand if you give him a basketball.
Yep.
right.
So it's if you keep them off, we keep those statistics and those numbers down, the violence will drop. the
Hmm.
more kids are hooping and doing things that are constructive with their job instead of just running around
Hmm.
acting like fools. Because those aren't the real role models. Yeah, the money's
It's true.
there, the flash is there, but in an instant, you live
Hmm.
by the gun, you die by the gun.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
true. All right. Wow. That I'm telling you, Paul, I told you this week we get deep, bro. Okay, so now I'm gonna go if I was George, wait, I'm not George. George has a segment called Fab Five.
Oh,
Um, and I think with George and knowing you the way he does, he would probably ask you who were your Fab Five guards of all time. It could be any era.
any air.
Any era. Who are your Fab Five guards, shooting or point?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Derrick Rose. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with Steve Nash.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
I'm gonna go with Stephen Curry at three.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with AI. I don't know
Oh,
who y'all consider shooting guard.
Either or, any guard, shooting or point,
Oh,
doesn't matter.
up there, and then for my last one, I'd probably say I like Damian Lillard for real.
Lillard,
I
oh,
like Dame.
local guy, yeah.
I like
This
Dame Dollar.
and this is the part where George would be like, "I really like that lineup," but then he'd be like, "What about Kobe?" Yeah, those are two things he would say.
what
So,
about Kobe?
all right, so yeah, what about Kobe? No Kobe?
No
Sorry, you
Kobe,
got Laker fans up in here. Sorry.
no Kobe, no
No
Jordan.
Kobe, no Jordan, and no LeBron. Or LeBron's a forward. So,
Well,
but yeah,
look,
no,
Hey,
I want to hear it. Why no Kobe, no Jordan? Is it because you're
LeBron, my
younger? Is that
favorite
why?
player.
Or yeah,
You heard me?
yeah. Say it again. Sorry.
LeBron, my favorite player for real. So
LeBron's
he
your
don't.
favorite player. Uh-oh. Good thing George isn't here. George can't
but
stand him.
LeBron is not really. I wouldn't consider LeBron a guard.
He's
He's a
not a
forward.
guard.
I thought he was a forward. He's a forward, isn't he? He's a
Yeah,
forward.
yeah, but he's not a guard. You said top five guards,
No,
bro.
but then I said
Yeah,
that, and then I'm like, no, he's a forward because even on
Yeah,
the his
yeah,
starting lines, he's a forward. Yeah, but no
yeah.
Kobe, no Jordan. That's different, but it's cool because it's cool. Hang on, you cut
great.
out. You cut out. You cut out.
I'm not a Kobe or Jordan fan. They're great players though.
Okay. Any particular reason? I know we're almost done. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did this, but any particular reason?
Now you good. I just never really liked them. I just never like.
Wow.
I'm knocking them or not discrediting them. I just
No,
don't really.
everybody gets their own opinion. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't really like them like that.
Okay. Is it because of
Uh,
style or off-court stuff? Last question
Yeah,
on
I
that, I
mean,
promise.
it's just like they style. I don't
Okay.
really like it. It
All
is
right.
what it is.
No,
Um,
that's a good answer. That's a good answer. All right, so my section's called ISO. I had a question ready and then we started talking about what we talked about and now I'm just like, forget it. I'm gonna do something different. Okay, so your mine is always a one question, one versus one, one offer, whatever. So I'm gonna do a one offer today. You're offered one position in the NBA, not as a player. What is it and why?
not as a player, I'd probably be a general manager.
I could totally see you doing that.
General man.
You would make a badass squad.
Yeah, and that's why I would do it, just to make that. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
That old ass squad, nobody can
Uh-huh.
really beat. You know what I'm saying,
That'd be
and be able
dope.
to go where I want to. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's probably why.
That would be dope. It's funny you say that because let's be real, every one of us here have played a sports game at one time or another and made that ultimate team. I know I did it on NBA, MLB, NHL, just for the hell of it, And you're like, well, shit, they didn't have my GM mode back in our day, so you made your own damn team. Now they have my GM mode, but they didn't have that back then. So you're just like, shit, I'm gonna put Kobe and Jordan and LeBron, everybody all on the same team. Like you said, AI Dash, maybe throw Shaq as a center or Tim Duncan or whatever. We used to do that all the time. So no, I could totally see you doing that because you have that knowledge, you have that experience, and you're a damn good player. So I think that would be dope. So, okay, we're just about done. Drew's gonna give his final thought. I'll give my final thought, and we'll let you get out of here. Thank you again so much, Paulie. I know it's a Wednesday. I know it's middle of the week. Where some of us got places to be. You got stuff to do. You got the baby coming in. Give a big hug to the queen for us, and all prayers that everything goes smooth. Keep us posted, man. We can't wait to see our little nephew.
I
So
got
let us know.
Yes, sir. I got you. I got you. And I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Take your shot, media. Shout out y'all boys. y'all doing a great thing over there, bro. Ricky, I love your energy. Drew, appreciate y'all, man, for real. So I really do appreciate y'all letting me come on y'all platform and just pretty much just tell a little bit about myself. So I appreciate y'all tremendously.
No, we appreciate you, Paulie. And you know that even before the platform, you were always one of our favorites. So,
Yeah.
Drew, close out, my friend. What you got?
Yeah, just it's always like a comment with me.
Yep.
But Paulie, keep doing your thing. The future looks bright. The little man's gonna learn a lot. He's gonna soak it up like a sponge, literally. Everything you do, is gonna be put more now on a spotlight on, regardless. No, you already had a small spotlight on you. Now you're gonna have a bigger one because now
Mm-hmm.
you got a responsibility. So just, shout out to that. Everything will go smoothly. The queen, just treat her right. You treat a woman right, she'll always treat you right. Um, so just continue to do your craft. You got your head on the game. No, doesn't don't let the haters knock you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they could say, "Oh, this boy's written off. He didn't even graduate high school." Blah blah blah. Whatever, man. It don't matter because you know why? If you're like me, I've had this is like my third or fourth business I've had, and finally they're starting to succeed. But they always say the great CEOs and the great business mind made people they fail 9 times before they get that
Mm-hmm.
great one to finally succeed. So just
Yeah.
continue. I think it is motivation. Like you said, you don't Kobe and Jordan weren't your favorites, but it was that mentality that everyone hates them. You hate me because I'm so damn good. That's the
Yeah.
reason why. You watch me. You guys are watching my comments. You're watching my stories because you want to see what I'm doing. Because you're jealous. Jealous ones envy me. It's just like freaking what was that? Fat Joe's album, literally. So it was like, bro, just keep doing my thing, keep doing your thing. You're gonna succeed.
My God, thank you, bro. Thank y'all, for real.
Absolutely. 1,000%. Okay, and then I'm the opposite of him. I always have a final question. And this one's usually my go-to. I didn't use it the last couple weeks, but I want to use it with you because of you becoming a new dad and being not pretty much almost like one of the captains on Vegas. Maybe not a captain, but you are most definitely one of the veteran souls on that team. You've seen things, you've been through things. You got young rookies coming up and you want to give them good advice. My final question to you, Paulie Coleman, is what legacy do you want to leave for your team and for your son?
Legacy I want to leave behind is give it your all, bro. Don't give up. Like I said, like I was telling y'all earlier, the road may get tough, but keep your head straight. Um, and just give it your all, bro. Whatever you're doing, whether it's hooping, whether it's working out, whatever you want to do in life, go at it. Go at it. Don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. It's gonna be tough days. It's gonna be tough nights. Um, just keep God first and just grind hard, bro. Stay focused on what you want to do in life, and that's pretty much the legacy I want to leave behind to anybody and everybody. Work hard at whatever you want to do in life. You know,
There it
same with
is.
same with y'all. Keep going, man. Keep going.
Nope, absolutely. I appreciate that. And we know who's been supporting us as well throughout the 6 years. We know who's been backing us, and we've been backing you, and we've been following you as well. So keep your head up. I say same thing. Keep your head up. Keep your heart forward, especially as a dad. And again, Paulie, I'm being 100% with you right now. You need to hit me up at 3 in the morning. Hit me up at 3 in the morning. I got you because you're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
have your dad depression is real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hit me up. Hit up Ant. Hit up any of us. Even if you just need to cry, complain, cuss, whatever. I'm dead. I'm eye to eye right now, bro. I'm 100% with you right now. Because that first month is crazy. So be ready. I'll be waiting by the phone. All right. I promise.
I got you. Hey, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all.
No, absolutely. Again, you guys, you're listening or you're watching. I'm sorry. Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble episode 86 with new dad to be, Las Vegas Royals guard, champion, all around good guy, been through hell and back, been to the storm, but got through the storm. Pauley Coleman. Again, Pauley Coleman, thank you so much. On behalf of our audience, Coach McNeely, Wavy Neek, the agent Drew, conspicuous by his absence, George Ochola and Joshua Pangan. I'm Double R Ricky Rodriguez. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Please join us on Saturday. So far scheduled is going to be Arizona Fire owner and coach. We call her Mama Tony, but Tony Taylor, aka the Creole Queen, will be coming on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we got the two-time national champions head coach Mike Williams of the Chicago Fury. You ain't gonna want to miss either one of those. Make sure you guys tune in. And again, thank you, Pauley. You're freaking awesome, bro. Be safe. Keep your head forward, or keep your heart forward. Keep your head on straight. And you got a little man on the way. It's gonna be worth every second, everything you go through. Think with your heart. Use your head, but think with your heart. That's what I'm gonna say. And last but not least, y'all, you know it. You're gonna say it. Times are hard. Life is hard. Remember, when life hands you the ball, take your shot. We're out
Yes.
of here.
God, my God, thank you.
How do I turn this thing off?
And record.
Oh, here we go.